Some of you may have seen this on the channel before, but I wanted to show it to a lot of you who haven't, because I know some of your subscribers have not seen it. This is my WAVERUNNER, obviously. We'll take the cover off in a second, but I want to show you guys what's really cool about this particular WAVERUNNER, because it is set up a little different than most. So let's get into it right now. This is my 2008 Yamaha FX SHO. For anybody who's really new to the whole WAVERUNNER jet ski world, this was basically the bad boy of its day. So as far as WAVERUNNERs, jet skis, runabouts, whatever you want to call them go, there's really a few different categories. Basically, you have like your entry level, your rental ski, which is the one that is going to go 45 miles an hour. It's going to sip gas. Back in the day, they were a little slower, a little less reliable because they were 2-strokes. But now all the jet skis are 4-stroke. So they're all 4-stroke. Then you have one step up. You have like your sport craft, which is going to be like a VX or something like that. Or in the Sea-Doo world, you know, you've got like the GTIs and stuff like that. And then you've got your muscle craft, which is one step, it's the top tier. That's going to be your supercharged big boy, just as it sounds. That's your muscle craft. So this is the muscle craft of the day. This is a supercharged 1.8 liter, biggest of the class, 1.8 liter 4-cylinder 4-stroke. And what's really special about these Yamahas, as you can see, this is all done up in HKS livery. But what's really special about it is they come from the factory with an HKS supercharger. So that's why the HKS theme is here. You guys know I love HKS, but you know, I'm not going to fake it. This is a real HKS powered machine. So we've done some modifications to the motor, and had some help from my buddy Ernesto at Callus Performance. Want a big shout out to him and Renee at our jet skis. So check them out also. So the basics on this is a really well set up ski. This ski is set up for what I would consider the equivalent of the street, but on the water. So I go out to the local areas, hang out with the guys, do a lot of street racing, or you know, canal racing, what we do down here. But I'll show you basically what's going on here. This is, like I said, HKS supercharged. This has a 16 PSI supercharger. So from the factory, they run around 6 or 7 PSI. So you have to do some stuff to them to make it work. And clearly, we've got stuff to make it work. Primarily in the form of a Haltech Elite 1500, which is mounted in a factory location underneath this factory ECU box. As you can see, it doesn't look really crazy modified or anything in here. You can start to see some stuff here, though. You can see the intercooler down there, nice and shiny. That's a Fizzle 500 intercooler. Shout out Fizzle, best in the game. A lot of the parts on this are going to be on the same parts that are on the fastest jet skis in the world, and the fastest jet ski in the world, in fact, which is local to us. So that's pretty impressive. Same guys working on this. So HKS supercharger down here, like I said, running around 16 to 17 PSI depending on the RPM. The Haltech allows us to run whatever we want. We've got a flex fuel sensor on board. We've got GPS on board, as you can see there. We've got all of the amazing features from the Haltech portfolio mounted on this thing, including OBD connectivity, which is really cool because that allows us to run something really special. We can run I'm going to put this cover back on. We can run an aftermarket dash, basically. Climb up here. Here's the seat from the cockpit. You can see the view, how it's all set up. So we've got our Haltech CAN gauge right here, which displays all the information we need in order to get stuff going. We'll turn on the ski real quick. You can see the gauge is loading up. Using the factory speedometer here, as you can see, so we've got that as well. But we've got our gauge loaded up here. Let's get this thing set up. As you can see, so now this is connecting to the OBD on the Haltech, and this is going to get real-time data, as you can see, from the Haltech right there. And we've got a host of different options in here, so you can look at RPM as well right here, so we can see how that looks. So now we've got our speedometer, we've got RPM here, we've got a boost gauge mounted here, we've got the Haltech can gauge which shows AFR, coolant, all the data that we want is here as well. But ethanol content, you name it, it's all here. But we can look at all that stuff in here. It's all programmable. We've got all the ability to do that. So the Haltech is just an awesome tool on this machine. I'm gonna start it real quick. I don't have it on water, so I'm not gonna let it run too long, but I just wanna show you how this dash looks. Wait for the OBD to hook up to the Wi-Fi. This is a Wi-Fi connection. So now we're hooked up. Let's go ahead and start it up. Now, we'll switch to our speed. There you go, RPM now, as you can see. So there's RPM showing real time, as you can see it. Pretty cool. So that'll allow us to see speed, RPM, temperature, as you can see over here. We've got a couple of other options here I haven't programmed yet, but really a great little system to have. If you've got a Haltech Elite, you can actually connect your own phone or tablet or device and create your own digital dash. Just make sure it's pretty waterproof, I will say that. You know, the iPhones are pretty good. I'm not going underwater, but they can get splashed and stuff. I've done it before. You can actually connect your phone up as a dash. Really cool. Haltech all hooked up. We've got a bunch of different things programmed into this Haltech as well in order to accommodate for the extra power that we're making. One of the things that this ski does is, with a lot more power like this, you're getting a lot of cavitation. So cavitation is when basically it's like spinning your tires on the street. The prop or the impeller will spin in the water and aerate, and it will not, the ski won't move. You just sit there kind of spinning. So what I've developed is a cavitation preventative measure in the Haltech, and you can do this type of stuff with a Haltech. You can create your own tables, create your own systems, your own maps and stuff. So we created a cavitation control system that basically changes the amount of RPM that's being allowed versus GPS speed versus throttle input. So I've basically calibrated this ski so that while I hold a button, which I've mounted right here for ease of use, you hold this button down, it's in launch control, and I can squeeze the throttle and it will launch using that cavitation prevention system that I've created in the Haltech, and it really works well. I'll show you a little test. You can see the clip here. I did a whole video about it. But basically, it removes or eliminates cavitation from the problem, from the launch as a problem, and allows us to get a nice clean launch every single time. So we just get perfect launches as long as we're holding that button. Now, if I just launch it holding the throttle without that, it's going to jump out of the water, spin the prop, whatever you want to call it. So that helps out immensely. And we saw 2 and even 3/10 of a reduction in the 5 to 60 times, which is pretty big on this ski, considering that you're only talking about a 2 second or less, 1.8 second 5 to 60. It's super fast. So here's the GPS sensor right here, mounted there, with the control module mounted in there. And we have all of the functions that you would want on a factory ski, and we've mounted, you can see our OBD port is right there with our OBD scanner, our Wi-Fi scanner there. We've got wideband right here. So just a host of features that the Haltech allows for on this muscle craft, and it really makes a difference on the water. So if you've got one of these skis, let me know. I can help you out. We can tailor a build for you as well if you'd like to do something similar. And hopefully we'll get on the water here now soon. Summer's coming. For all you guys, I should be riding year round because it doesn't get cold here. But unfortunately I don't. So summer's coming. We'll be getting on the water. Carla's skis under this cover. Hers is pretty badass also. We'll save that for another video because she rocks it for sure. But these are really cool skis. Again, 1.8 liter supercharged, HKS supercharger, Haltech on board. We got a big fuel pump, we've got regulator, we've got big injectors, we've got everything on here, ethanol sensors, everything you can imagine, all the Haltech bells and whistles on this bad boy. And you can do this not only on your ski, but you can do it in your car, you can do it on a motorcycle, you can do whatever you have that's got a motor. The Haltech can run it and run it well. So hope you guys enjoyed this little show and tell of my FX SHO, and look forward to being on the water soon, throwing down some new numbers. I forgot to mention what this ski actually does. We're looking at just shy of 90 miles per hour on this ski, just so you know. It might go faster. I'll be honest, holding it at that speed is really scary. So I don't know how fast it'll go, but at around 9,500 RPM we're approaching 90 miles an hour. And this valve train can go for 10,000 RPM. It just makes more boost the faster you go. And there's definitely more in the tank than that. So a really impressive ski. You know, there's a lot faster guys out there now going 130, 140 miles an hour. I think it's a world record now. But hey, 90 miles an hour is pretty dang fast, and I'm pretty happy about that with this ski, especially considering how fast it gets there, because these guys do 8th mile racing. This thing gets there in an 8th mile, no problem, and then some. So anyway, that'll do it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you want to see anything in particular with this thing, let me know, and I'll be sure to show you. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one.